Our objective in this lesson is to solve equations transformable to quadratic equations, including rational algebraic equations. Let's have a quick review of our previous lesson. Direct my path. Given the quadratic equation, choose the correct sum and product of its roots. The formula for the sum again is the negative of b over a. And for the product, we have c over a. Let's have the first one. We have 2x squared minus 7x minus 4 equals 0. The negative of negative 7 is positive 7 over a. So we have 7 over 2. That is the sum. For the product, again, that would be c over a. So we have negative 4 over 2. That is negative 2. Next one, we have x squared minus 14x plus 45 equals 0. Again, for the sum, it is negative of negative 14. That would be positive 14 over a, which is invisible 1, is still positive 14. For the product, that would be c, which is 45 over a, which is 1. So still 45. And the last one, the negative of positive 5 is negative 5 divided by 2. So we have negative 5 over 2 for the sum. And for the product, that would be c, negative 3 over a. So we have negative 3 over 2. Do you still remember LCD? List common denominator. This is a prerequisite for today's lesson. So let us determine the LCD of the following. If your denominators are different constants, all you have to do is skip counting. Let us skip counting by 2. This time, let us skip counting by 5. And since we are talking about LCD, L stands for list. We're going to look for the least number among these two groups, and that would be 10. Therefore, our LCD for number 1 is 10. Next one, we have here the first denominator is a variable x and the second denominator is a constant 4. One variable, one constant, we simply have to multiply them. So our LCD here is 4x. Number 3, let us first deal with constants. Let us skip counting by 12. This time, let us skip counting by 3. And again, let us look for the least number common to these two groups, and that would be 12. So the LCD for the constant is 12. Since we have here a variable x, we simply have to multiply this x to the LCD of our constant. So we have 12x. Number 4, again, let us deal first with the constant. Let us skip counting by 2. Now let us skip counting by 4. The least number of the constants is 4. Now for the variable, we have here x raised to the first power and x raised to the second power. The technique is choose the variable raised to a higher exponent. So in this case, we're going to choose x squared and multiplied it with the LCD of the constant, which is 4. So we have 4x squared. Next one, our first denominator is x minus 3 and the second one is x squared minus 9. What we have to do here is to determine the factors. This is difference of two squares and the factors are x minus 3 times x plus 3. These are just the same. We only need one of every unique factor. So we need 1x minus 3 and 1x plus 3. So our LCD is the quantity x minus 3 times x plus 3. And these two are actually the factors of x squared minus 9. For the last one, we have to determine the factors of this denominator, and that would be quantity x minus 4 times x minus 1. Our second denominator is x minus 4, and our third denominator is x minus 1. X minus 4, I already have 1x minus 4 here. X minus 1, I already have 1x minus 1 here. So the LCD is 1 of x minus 4 and of x minus 1, which these two are actually the factors of this denominator, x squared minus 5x plus 4. Do you still remember ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where ax squared is the quadratic term, bx is the linear term, and c is the constant term? A, b, and c here are real numbers, where a is greater than 0 and all non-zero coefficients are just divisible by 1. This is the standard form of a quadratic equation. And we can solve this using the four different methods that we previously discussed. But not all quadratic equations are written in standard form. Today, I am going to teach you how to solve for the roots of quadratic equations not written in standard form. Let's have the first example. The first step is to distribute this x here. X times x is x squared. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. Copy equals 40. Now let us move 40 on this side. It will become minus 40. Let us determine the factors of 40. These are 1 and 40, 2 and 20, 4 and 10, and 5 and 8. Let us bring out our magic x. Let us write our constant here at the top and the coefficient of the linear term, negative 3 at the bottom. This time, we're going to decide which among these factors will possibly give me negative 3. That would be 5 and 8. Our product is negative, so one of these factors must be negative. And the sum of these two numbers should be negative 3. If we want a sum of negative, then the bigger number among these two should be negative. So 8 here should be negative. These are now our factors. X plus 5 times x minus 8 equals 0. So we have x plus 5 equals 0 or x minus 8 equals 0. X plus 5 equals 0, x equals negative 5. X minus 8 equals 0, x equals positive 8. From what you have learned, we have to check our answers to make sure that our roots are not extraneous roots. Let us have another example. In here, we are going to expand first quantity x plus 3 squared. So we have the square of the first term, that would be x squared. Copy the sign of the middle term. Imagine to bring down 2 here. So 2 multiplied by the first term, that would be 2x. Multiplied by the second term times 3 is 6x. The third term is always positive. Square the second term, that would be 9. Let us copy plus here. This time, let us expand quantity x plus 5 squared. Square the first term, that would be x squared. Copy the sign of the middle term, plus. Imagine to bring down 2 here. 2 times x is 2x times 5 is 10x. The third term is always positive. And then square the second term. 5 squared is 25. Copy equals 10. Now let us combine like terms. We have x squared plus x squared. That would be 2x squared. 6x plus 10x is 16x. 9 plus 25, that would be 34. And then let us move 10 on this side. Minus 10 equals 0. 34 minus 10 is positive 24. 2, 16, and 24 are all divisible by 2. So let us divide both sides by 2. So we have 2 and 2 here will cancel out, leaving us x squared. 16 divided by 2 is 8, so we have 8x. 24 divided by 2 is 12. And 0 divided by 2 is still 0. Now let us determine the factors of 12. These are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Let's bring out our magic x. Let us write on the top our constant term, which is positive 12. And at the bottom, the coefficient of the linear term, which is positive 8. Let us now decide which among these factors will possibly give you a sum of 8. And that would be 2 and 6. Our product is positive, so the factors are either both positive or both negative. But since the sum is positive 8, then both 2 and 6 are positive. So our factors are x plus 2 times x plus 6 is equal to 0. X plus 2 equals 0 or x plus 6 equals 0. Moving to on this side, x equals negative 2. X plus 6 equals 0. X equals negative 6. Again, you have to check your answers to make sure these are not extraneous roots. This time, we're going to solve rational equations transformable to quadratic equation. The first step here is to determine the LCD. But here's the technique. If you only have an equal sign between the left and the right side of the equation, you can do cross multiplication right away. So we have x plus 2 times x, or x times x plus 2 equals 3 times x plus 4. Now let us distribute this x here. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. Equals 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 4 is 12. Let us move all terms on one side. So we have x squared plus 2x minus 3x minus 12 equals 0. 2x minus 3x is negative x. Now let us determine the factors of 12. These are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. Let's bring out our magic x. Let us put at the top our constant term, which is negative 12. And at the bottom is the coefficient of the linear term, which is negative 1. Now let us decide which among these factors will possibly give us negative 1 as a sum. And that would be 3 and 4. Since our product is negative, one of these factors must be negative. And since the sum is negative 1, then the bigger number should be negative. So these are our factors. Quantity x plus 3 times x minus 4 equals 0. X plus 3 equals 0, or x minus 4 equals 0. X plus 3 equals 0, moving 3 on this side, x equals negative 3. X minus 4 equals 0, x equals positive 4. Once again, you have to check these answers if these are not extraneous roots. Let's have another one. This time, we really have to determine our LCD because we have an operation here. Our denominators are one variable and one constant. As mentioned earlier, we simply have to multiply them. So our LCD is 4x. We're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 4x. Let us distribute 4x to the first term. X and x will cancel out. So we have 4 times 4. Copy plus. Distribute 4x on the second term. 4 will cancel out. So we have x times x minus 2. 2 times 4x is 8x. 4 times 4 is 16. X times x is x squared. Positive x times negative 2 is negative 2x. Copy equals 8x. Let us move everything on one side and rearrange. So we have x squared minus 2x minus 8x plus 16 equals 0. Negative 2x minus 8x is negative 10x. Now let us determine the factors of 16. These are 1 and 16, 2 and 8, 4 and 4. Let's bring out our magic x. Let us put on the top our constant term, 16. And at the bottom is the coefficient of our linear term, negative 10. Let us decide which among these factors will give us negative 10 as a sum. That is possible when we choose 2 and 8 as our factors. Since our product is positive, it is either both of the factors are positive or both are negative. Since the sum is negative 10, then both 2 and 8 are negative. So our factors are x minus 2 and x minus 8. X minus 2 equals 0, or x minus 8 equals 0. X minus 2 equals 0, x equals positive 2. X minus 8 equals 0, x equals positive 8. Again, don't forget to check your answers to make sure these are not extraneous roots. Try this. Let us determine first our LCD. For the constant, is keep counting. The least number common to 12 and 3 is 12. Since both of the variables are raised to the first power, we only need one x. So our LCD is 12x. We're going to multiply both sides by this LCD. So 12x times x over 12, 12 and 12 will cancel out. So we have x times x, that is x squared. And then we have 12x times the second term. X and x will cancel out. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Multiply by the numerator, x plus 3. On this side, x and x will cancel out. 12 times 1 is 12. Let us distribute this one. This will become 4x, and 4 times 3 is 12. Let us put everything on one side. So we have x squared plus 4x plus 12 minus 12 is equal to 0. 12 minus 12 is equal to 0. So we have x squared plus 4x is equal to 0. X squared and 4x have a common factor, and that is x. Let us factor it out. X squared divided by x is x. 4x divided by x is positive 4, equals 0. So we have x is equal to 0, or x plus 4 is equal to 0. X equals negative 4. If x is equal to 0, when we substitute 0 here, this will become 1 over 0, and that will make the equation undefined. Therefore, x equals 0 is an extraneous root. Now, let us try if x is equal to negative 4. Let us substitute negative 4 in all of our x's in the original equation. Are they equal? We can rewrite negative 4 over 12 as negative of 4 over 12. And then negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Then let us rewrite 1 over negative 4 as negative of 1/4. Are they equal? Negative divided by negative is positive. Are they equal? Since we have the same denominator, let's work on our numerator. Negative 4 plus 1 will give us negative 3. Are they equal? Let us determine the lowest term of 3 over 12. They are both divisible by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. So we have negative 1/4 is equal to negative 1/4. They are equal. Therefore, our answer, x equals negative 4, is correct. Let us do extra challenge. Here we are going to determine first the factors of x squared minus 5x plus 4. And we have solved this earlier. The factors are x minus 4 times x minus 1. X minus 4 here, I already have 1 x minus 4 here. X minus 1, I already have 1 x minus 1. So our LCD is the product of x minus 4 times x minus 1. Let us multiply both sides with that LCD. On this side, the quantity x minus 4 times x minus 1 will simply cancel out, leaving us x plus 11. On this side, x minus 4 will cancel out, so we have 5 times x minus 1. Now, for this term, x minus 1 will cancel out, so we have 3 times x minus 4. So we have x plus 11. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. Let us put all terms with a variable on this side and constant on this side. X minus 5x is negative 4x plus 3x is negative x. Negative 5 plus 12 is 7. 7 minus 11 is negative 4. Let us divide both sides by negative 1. So this will become positive x and this one will become positive 4. Let us do a quick checking. If x is equal to 4, let us substitute 4 here. This will become 4 minus 4, and that is 0. And a number divided by 0 will make our equation undefined. So, there is no solution to this equation. For the summary, take time to understand this. This is what we have discussed in this lesson. Now, it is time to check your understanding. Pause this video for more time. Let us answer. First, we have to determine our LCD. For the constants, we have 2, 4, and 2. The LCD of that is 4. And for the variable, we only have 1x, so our LCD is 4x. We're going to multiply both sides by 4x. So 4x multiply with the first term, x and x will cancel out. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Multiply with the numerator, x minus 4. 4x multiplied by the second term, 4 and 4 will cancel out. So we have x multiplied by the numerator, x plus 2. 4x divided by 2 is 2x times 1 is still 2x. So we have 2 times x is 2x, 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, x times x is x squared, x times 2 is 2x. So we have x squared, 2x plus 2x is 4x minus 8. Let us move 2x, it will become minus 2x equals 0. 4x minus 2x is positive 2x. Let us determine the factors of 8. These are 1 and 8, 2 and 4. Let us bring out our magic x. Let us put on the top our constant term, negative 8, and at the bottom is the coefficient of the linear term, which is 2. Let us decide which among these two sets will give us 2 as a sum. And that is possible when we choose 2 and 4. Since our product is negative, one of these factors is negative. Since our sum is positive, then the smaller number is negative. Our factors are x minus 2 times x plus 4. X minus 2 equals 0 or x plus 4 equals 0. X minus 2 equals 0, x equals positive 2. X plus 4 equals 0, x equals negative 4. Do not forget to check your answers to determine if they are not extraneous roots. Gets? Our next lesson is solving problems involving quadratic equations and rational algebraic equations.